Welcome back, everyone, to another dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9. Sorry it took me so long to make another video tonight, but I had to do this right. So tonight we're going to be reacting to Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Side 3, and the illustrated version or whatnot. So we've got a video, and yeah, the reason I did not make this sooner was because part 1 actually got blocked, and so that's now on Patreon. So if you want to see it, you can join the Patreon if you want to. No need to, though. We have a million other videos on here if you don't want to do that, but I'd appreciate it if you would. But, you know, whatever. So I listened to side 1 and 2 over again just now. And now we're leading into this part. So where we left off, he climbed the staircase, made it to the chamber of way too many doors that kept leading back to the same place. And he's looking for someone to trust, and there's no one there. All right? This has been a very interesting journey. So far, I think the lamb lying down might have signified the death of innocence, or like the veil being lifted, or disillusionment. Then him going through this like journey, this hero's journey type thing in his head, with some flashbacks to like normal life. Just my opinion, obviously. You can have whatever type of interpretation of this stuff you want, but yeah, we're gonna keep going. Thank you very much for joining me. The songs on side 3 include Lily White Lilith, The Waiting Room, Anyway, Here Comes the Supernatural Anesthetist, interesting, The Lamia, Silent Sorrow, and Empty Boats. Now, disclaimer, I've heard The Lamia before because, if you remember, we did that. That was fun. That was a good song. All right, Silent Sorrow is an instrumental, and then I've got the lyrics pulled up for everything else on AZ Lyrics. And that's all I've got to say. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Whoopsies. We're starting right over here in the chamber. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
The chamber was in confusion, all the voices shouting loud. I could only just hear a voice quite near saying, please help me through the crowd.
Okay, someone looking
Said
for
if I
help.
helped her through, she could help me too, but I could see that she was wholly blind. On a pale face and a pale skin, a moonlight shined. Lily white lily, she gonna take you through the tunnel of night. Lily white lily, she gonna lead you right.
Interesting that the blind person's like the only one who can lead him. That's awesome.
When I led her through the river,
Oh, he's
the angry noise began to grow. She said, let me feel the way the breezes blow, and I'll show you where to go.
oh, okay, so she, yeah.
So I followed her into a big round cage. She said, they're coming for you now, don't be afraid. Then she sat me down on a cold stone throne, carved in jade. Lily white Lilith, she gonna take you through the tunnel of night. Lily white Lilith,
He said they're coming. She said they're
she
coming for
gonna
you.
lead you right.
That's interesting.
She leaves me in my darkness. I have to face
Okay, so something's...
Two golden globes float into the room, and a blaze of white light fills the
No. I've been trying to pause it at least once in each of the specific songs. So, whoops, whatever. Let's keep going. I love that this album makes me feel what this man is going through. It's crazy. Like, listen to that. The ambient, strange noises. Feels like we're in a strange place. Sounds like wind chimes. Your cars, maybe? Horses' hooves? What's the name of this track? The Waiting Room. That sounds a little bit like... What was that called? The Flight of the Bumblebee, maybe? Yeah, alright, whatever. The Waiting Room. So that name actually reminds me of... I don't know if anyone here has ever heard of or read The Mysterious Benedict Society. But the first book, they go to like a school, which is like an indoctrination school, which is very weird. It's a very interesting book. Anyway, and if the characters ever like get in trouble, they're put in the waiting room. It's interesting. Let's keep going. Also, a waiting room would also be like something for like you know, like an appointment at some type of medical facility. So, there are a few different interpretations of that. Let's keep going. That's so weird. It's like jump scares. I'm like... So cool. What are we building up to? Feels very science fiction. The drums are getting crazy. What's this one called? Oh, we're still on the waiting room. Wow. Interesting. Alright, that's the last time I'm pausing it. Where are we? It's so weird. Like, I feel like we're floating out in space almost. I felt like giant creatures go swimming through the ether by me. Pass through.
All the pumping's nearly over for my sweetheart. This is the one for me. Time to meet the chef. Oh boy, the running man is out of death. Feel cold, the cold is getting hard to catch my breath. It's back to ash. Now you've had your flash, boy. The rocks in time compress your blood to oil, your flesh to coal, enrich the soil. Not everybody's goal. Anyway, they say she comes on a pale horse, but I'm sure I hear a train. Oh boy, I don't even feel no pain.
Is he gonna die?
I guess I must be driving myself insane. Damn it all. Does earth plug a hole in heaven? Or heaven plug a hole in earth?
Yeah, he is going nuts.
How wonderful to be so profound when everything you are is dying underground.
He's doomed. You gonna be able to get out of it? Whoa. Turn that up. Alright, bring it back. Alright, So like I said, I'm hearing like him being in a void. He said he's in the darkness. Alright. And so it's almost like the Lilith led him through the door he had to go through, and he went out into the nothing. Alright. So the doors that he went through were like the different things that you can do in your life, right? Which could hold you over. But he kept coming back to the same place because it never truly satisfied him. So the door that the blind lady led him through almost felt like an awakening, a letting go of those material aspirations. But now it's the next step in the evolution of his mind. So it's like he comes out and he's in a nothingness, and he's waiting, and he's praying or trying to find inspiration or something to keep him going. So he came out, and what I was hearing in my head was he's in a void. There's something bigger out there, but he's in the dark. It's almost like he's blind now too. It's all dark. I'm feeling great motion. It's almost like I'm in water, and there's a whale passing beside me. There's ripples through time and space. And it's an awakening from the material realm. But is that awakening symbolized in his death? So, is his death the freeing of the spiritual now? Is his soul going to continue this journey? Because I don't think death is going to be the end for Rail. Let's keep going. And of course, my interpretation is just my interpretation. Just my opinion. I love that piano.
I feel the pull on the rope that me off at the rainbow. I could have been exploded in space, different orbits for my bones. Not me, just quietly buried in stones. Keep the deadline open with my maker. See me stretch.
He's trying to stay alive.
The God's elastic acre. The doorbell rings and it's good morning, Rail. So sorry you have to wait. It won't be long. Yeah, she's really, really late.
The enlightening one, or the guiding light, is coming to him now. Ooh, we're in a holy place. Here comes the supernatural. Anesthetist.
If he wants you to snuff it, all he has to do is puff it. He's such a fine dancer.
Uh-oh. Oh, is he stoned now? That was such an awesome breakdown right here. And did the witch well, it showed a plague doctor. Did the supernatural anesthetist give him? So was he searching for meaning now in some type of substance? And so when we listened to Anesthetized by Porcupine Tree, we found out that it meant to like numb, you know? So is that like the next thing that he went to, and is he going to find out that even that's not fulfilling either? Who knows? Let's keep going. The guitar and the bass in here are so cool. This is such a cool album.
The scent grows richer. He knows he must be near.
This is the Lamia.
He finds a long passageway lit by chandelier.
Alright.
Each step he takes, the perfumes change from familiar fragrance to flavors strange. A magnificent chamber meets his eye. Inside, a long rose water pool is shrouded by fine mist. Stepping in the moist silence, with a warm breeze he's gently kissed.
So it's like he's in the bliss now.
Thinking he is quite alone, he enters the room as if it were his own. But ripples on the sweeping water reveal some company unthought of. Rail stands astonished, doubting his sight, struck by beauty, gripped in fright. 3 vermilion snakes of female face, the smallest motion filled with grace. Muted melodies fill the echoing hall, but there is no sign of warning in the siren's call. Rail, welcome, we are the Lamia of the pool. We have been waiting for our waters to bring you cool.
No. Uh-oh. See that? Is he gonna give in? And pause it here before it starts getting good. I don't want to stop it in the middle of that. So, like I said, adding to the theme of, so, giving up the material of, like, trying to accomplish earthly things almost seemed like it moved his psyche into the next stage of, like, did the supernatural doctor or whatnot try to give him something to keep him calm or happy? Is this now like the next step of that, as it's like a downward spiral into either lust or some type of addiction? Let's see. Let's keep going. It's very creepy. Like there's a undertone of darkness in there.
Putting fear beside him, he trusts in beauty blind.
Uh-oh.
He slips into the nectar, leaving his shredded clothes behind. With their tongues they test, taste, and judge all that is mine. They move in a series of caresses that glide up and down my spine.
Uh-oh.
As they nibble the fruit of my flesh, I feel no pain. Only a magic that a name would stain. With the first drop of my blood in their veins, their faces are convulsed in mortal pains. The fairest cries, we all have loved you well. a dying bloom. Looking for motion I know I will not find. I stroke the curls now turning pale, in which I lain entwined. Oh, Lamia, your flesh that remains I will take as my food. It is the scent of garlic that lingers on my chocolate fingers.
The frick is going on? He ate them. So he ate them. Huh. Rail's a weird character. Like, he does some unlikable things, and yet he's a very, like, relatable character at the same time. It's weird. Like, who is Rail? It's almost like the listener feels connected to him, yet doesn't really know that much about him.
Behind me, the water turns icy blue. The lights are dimmed, and once again the stage is set for you.
Weird. Strange tidings. Where are we going now? Is this the last one? Yes, okay. And I think this might be an instrumental. Alright, this is the last song of this side of the album. We make positively certain. Silent Sorrow, yep. Silent Sorrow and Empty Votes makes me think might be sailing somewhere. Such a journey. I love this album. This almost feels like it's a transitionary period, you know? It's like a reflective state, trance almost. We're moving on, ascending almost. We're just grounding. Oh. All right, let's keep going. is that no, not yet. All right, I'm going to be recording part 4, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as, at least, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. 1/100th of the amount that I've been enjoying this album. If that is the case, then my mission is accomplished. Very, very, very fun album. Wow, I love this so much. Okay, let me know what you think so far. Stay tuned for part 4. And if this gets blocked, it'll be on Patreon as well. So, yeah, if you're watching this on Patreon, good for you. If you're watching it on YouTube, yay, we did it. All right, thank you very much for joining me. Stay tuned for part 4 and the final side of the album. Deathstroke 9 out. See you guys soon. So, just to recap what I think we've gone through, he's kind of to me, it sounds like he's gone through all different types of materialistic, lustful, earthly, then things in his mind, and has overcome them or realized their folly one by one. But again, as always, just my interpretation. A little different than this artist's interpretation, although it's a cool video to go with it. I saw some people were like mad that I used the video. I said at the beginning of part 1, which I guess I did get blocked, so there's that. But they commented it before it got blocked, so I said at the beginning of part 1 that I'm not going to pay too much attention to the video, just like I do with most things in life, in general, if someone tells you something or any perception that they have on life that isn't a fact, it is just an opinion. An interpretation of a piece of art is one of the most opinion things there are. So I'm keeping that in mind. Multiple times I felt like the artist has a different idea of what's going on than I do, and I've talked about it. So, I mean, if it's a problem that I'm using the video, sorry, but just know that I am forming some other opinions other than just what this artist is telling me. But you cannot deny that this, even if the art style is just, it's not the most masterful cartoon art ever in the entire history of the world, but it's really cool that they paid tribute to this album by doing that. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much for joining me. Deathstroke 9 out. Stay tuned for part 4.